Well, welcome back, everyone. It's Friday already. And if you have not clicked that like button, do that. And then let's get started. To live is Christ is what I want to call this video. And it comes from Philippians chapter 1, verse 21. Have you ever heard someone say, or maybe you said it, that's life? Usually it comes out when stuff's falling apart. Flat tire, missed opportunity, relationship is tanking. It's a moment that you realize there's nothing you can do. That's just the way life goes. You win some, you lose some, and we say it without even thinking. Just the way things are. However, Paul didn't see life that way. He didn't shrug and say, oh, well, that's how the ball rolls. I'm in prison again. No, he said something that was opposite of that. Today's verse, for to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain. This verse is memorized by so many Christians, but it's not just a memory verse. It's a whole new way of seeing the world and turns everything upside down. You see, when Paul says Christ, he's using the Greek word Christos. And he's not just talking about some religious figure out there. He's talking about the one who gives his very life meaning, the center of everything. Paul didn't just admire Jesus from a distance. His whole life was wrapped up in Jesus. His identity was found in Christ, and without Christ, there is no Paul. And that word gain, kerdos, is not a little tiny perk. It's a real profit. Something you'll trade everything for. And Paul isn't saying death is an escape. No, he's saying it's an upgrade. More of what he's already been living for. And think about that. To live is Christ, not career, not comfort, not even good stuff like family, like helping people. Just Jesus. It's not about squeezing Jesus into our plans. It's about trading in your plans for him. There's a huge difference there. One's about making things better. The other one's about starting over again with Jesus in charge. See, most of us want to flip that around. We want Jesus to tag along with our ideas. We want him to stamp his approval on what we're already doing. But Paul says, no, that's not the way it works. It's the other way around. To live is Christ, not Christ plus your dreams, not Christ plus your purpose. It's Jesus and Jesus alone. So what does that look like for us? Well, it means changing how you see success. It means seeing your life as a way to show who Jesus is. If you're chasing comfort and vacations, this kind of life will feel hard for you. If you're chasing control, it'll feel like losing. But if you're chasing Christ, it'll be freedom that Paul talks about in Galatians. Paul wasn't clueless about death. In fact, he's in jail when he wrote this, and he's staring death in the face. But he wasn't scared. Because if he lived, he'll have more opportunity to know Christ and help others to meet Christ. And if he died, well, he'd see Jesus face to face. And for him, either way, it was amazing. It's still about Jesus. I don't know, maybe you're at a point where you're tired, unsure what's worth it anymore. You've been chasing things, maybe good things, but they're always just out of reach. What if you stopped trying to add Christ to the mix and just made him the whole thing? Living for Christ isn't about getting it all right. It's about giving up the need to be right. Letting him take your dreams, letting him take your worries and your mess and do something with it you couldn't do on your own. I tell you what, God can do in 5 minutes, but we cannot do in 50 years. And if you're tired of feeling like life's a puzzle you'll never solve, maybe it's time to do what Paul did. Trading your version of life for his. Because when your life is in Christ, you can't lose. You live with purpose. You face death with hope, and you're free, for it is for freedom that Christ died on the cross. That's what it means to live and die well. It's not about adding Jesus to your life. It's about letting him be your life. letting him turn everything around. To live is Christ, to die is gain. And once you get that, fear shrinks, purpose grows, and life finally starts to make sense. I hope that blessed you, my friends. Have an amazing day and worship on Sunday. Click that like button if you have not, so others can find and be blessed. Again, God bless you, and I'll see you next week.